Welcome to today's yoga practice. Today, practicing gentle chair yoga. Grab a chair, sit comfortably, and join me. Let's get started. Sitting tall, feet firmly on the floor. Sink into the support of the chair. Rest your hands on your thighs, palms up, palms down. It doesn't matter which. And when you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Now, if you can, let your eyes be softly closed rather than squeezing your eyes tightly shut. Think of softness. Softness around the eyes. Softness through the jaw. Begin to deepen your breath. As you focus on the softness, not only of your body and of your breath, feel the outside world, the harshness, beginning to feel a little farther away. Bring all your focus inward. Continue softening with each breath out, letting your hands and arms feel heavy. Letting the heaviness of the arms creep into the shoulders just a little bit, just enough to feel the shoulders relax and the tension melt away. Now feel the weight of the shoulders sinking down into your hips. Exhaling a little more deeply now, relax and soften, sinking into the seat of the chair, the back of the chair completely. Feeling relaxed, heavy all over, like you're draped in a comfortable, cozy blanket. Rather than controlling your breath, think of lingering in your breath. Feel the luxury of taking your time with your breath. Give yourself permission to feel good, to feel relaxed. Now let your hands slip off your thighs, dangling your arms at your sides. Let your hands now, the weight of your hands, tug your shoulders even more. So softening even more, feeling heavier. Just letting your arms and hands hang at your sides. With your next breath in, sweep your arms up. Let your wrists cross overhead. Just take a note of which hand goes in front. And exhale, sweep down. Sweeping down until you feel the sides of the chair and your fingers connect. Another breath in, sweeping up and over, letting the wrists cross in the opposite direction this time. Exhaling, sweeping down. Just until you touch the chair. Take 2 more breaths. Crossing back the other way. When you're ready to exhale, sweeping out and down. Feel yourself leaning into the support of the chair. Trusting the chair completely to hold you. So your breath can be as big as your arms are sweeping around and up and around and down. Bring your hands back to your thighs now. Just rub your hands on your thighs. Bring some warmth to your hands, your fingertips and the palms. Just increase the circulation there. Now rub your hands together. Feel the heat begin to build. Eyes are still softly closed here. If you have to open them, go ahead and close them again just for a moment. Now let your hands rub together a little bit faster. And then bring the palms of your hands over your eyes, close enough you can feel the heat, feel the tingle in the hands. Just feel the warmth from the palms of your hands, the soothing warmth over your eyes. Feels so lovely. And slowly bring your hands away. At the same time, slowly open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers. Really try to stretch them wide and gently close to make fists. Close with your thumbs inside and fingers wrapped over top, and then open and thumbs outside, closing the fingers a little more tightly. Careful not to hurt yourself or clench your hands. Think simply of keeping the movement as big as you can and at the same time as soft as you can. Alternating with the thumbs tucked in and thumbs on the outside. I'll do one more time with my thumbs on the outside. There we go. Now sitting up tall, I'm going to keep my place on the seat of the chair and simply pull the shoulder blades away from the back of the chair. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up, bring your gaze up with you. Now bring the hands together and let your hands float down. Follow your hands with your eyes. So as your hands come down until your forearms feel parallel to the floor, heels of the hands still together, and then lift up again. Follow your hands with your eyes. Bring it up. Lift yourself really tall. Bring your gaze up to your hands, lengthen to the elbows as much as possible. Feel the lift of the rib cage pulling away from your hips. And with your exhalation, following your hands with your eyes once again. Try not to let your eyes get in front of your hands, but really keep your awareness. Now as your hands drop down, tuck your chin towards your chest as far as possible, as close as possible. That's probably a better description. Now bring it back up, slowly, deliberately. If your mental attention wanders away from your hands, bring your eyes back and your focus, your mental focus will come back as well. Move with your breath. Looking down at my fingertips, chin tucks in towards the chest. One more time. Lifting up, following hands with your eyes, reaching up, feeling the rib cage pull away from the hips, long elbows, long arms. And then slowly coming down. Chin tucks towards the chest, relax the jaw. Take a couple of long exhalations here. Relax the shoulders with your breath out. Keep the heels of the hands pressing together. Now lift your chin away from your chest. Sit really tall so you feel long from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Sides of the body feel long. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Now keep that. Think of keeping the heel of the hands together and pushing the hands as close as you can, a little farther, a little closer towards your thighs, but keeping the heels of the hands together. Really push in and push down. As soon as the heel of the hands start to separate and you feel the base of the knuckle, the base of the fingers right at the knuckles beginning to bend, that's your limit. That's your range of motion here through the wrist. Keep that actively pushing the heel of the hands down towards your thighs. Sitting tall, crown of the head reaching up. Try not to drop your chin down to look at your fingertips. We already practiced that. Now relax, just soften, but keep the palms of the hands together. Now spin your hands away from you as far as you can, keeping the heels of the hands together once again. and then spin your fingertips in towards you. Whew, keeping the heels of the hands together. You'll feel the outside edges of your hands, the pinky edge, pressed together a little bit more, but the thumbs want to pull apart, so actively focus there. Keep the thumbs pressing together. Now spin out, keeping the elbows wide. Try not to drop the hands down this way. Keep them floating up in front of the heart, and rotate in. Kind of feel that in your shoulders. Keep actively trying to bring your thumbs now as close towards your thighs as you can. Let's do that one more time. Rotating out. Pinkies drop down towards your knees. Push out. Feel that in the biceps. It's the heels of the hands push together. Thumbs, lots of pressure there on the thumbs now. Rotating in. Thumbs dropping down towards your thighs. You can feel the pressure on the baby fingers and that side of your palm. Keep the thumbs pressing together. Actively push in. Stay tall. Try not to slump forward. Keep the shoulder blades sliding down your back. And then bring the hands back to center. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, sweep around. Crossing your wrists in front. Inhale, let the hands sweep up. Exhale, sweeping out. Now you're going to cross the other hand in front. So just make mental note of which hand, which wrist goes on the top. And then lift. As you take your breath in, and as you exhale, reach out. Cross back in that first position, first hand on the top. Lift up, take a breath, and release out. One more time, other wrist on front. And release. Hands on your thighs, still sitting tall. Rotate through the shoulders. Softness at the elbows, just feeling really loose through the hands and arms. And just let your hands gently glide on your thighs. Keep the sensation, the circulation into the palms by creating a little heat there. Moving your hands on your thighs. Now go the other way. So as your shoulders go the other way, your hands rotate in the opposite direction. Right? There's always a seesaw action in your body. Whenever you move one part of your body, another part of your body responds, even if it's in a very subtle way. There we go. All right, shifting now to the feet. So we're going to wiggle the fingers. Pardon me, you have no fingers on your feet. Wiggle your toes. Really try to articulate every toe as much as possible. Curl your toes tight and spread them wide. Do this a few times. Take a moment to pause in the curl position and then pause in the spread wide position. Just to give your body a chance to build strength to hold that position, either curled tight or spread wide, but not too tight and not too wide. You don't want to cramp, but movement and using the muscles will help prevent cramping in the future. All right, now come far enough forward. If you're like me, you need to come forward a little bit so the soles of the feet are better connected to the floor. Now just rub your feet on the floor. You can go as fast or as slow as you like, but I want you to start to feel some heat building with the friction between the soles of your feet and the floor. This is also excellent for circulation. And as we get into colder temperatures, you might be someone who has cold hands or cold feet. This is a great way to promote circulation and build some heat in the extremities. Now let the feet rest. Hands on your thighs, sitting tall. So even if you didn't come forward in the seat of your chair, sit tall so your shoulders and the back of your rib cage are pulled away from the support of the back of the chair. Hands resting on your thighs. Kind of get a sense that your shoulders are over top of your hips. You feel perfectly balanced. Soles of the feet steady, firmly planted on the floor. Crown of the head reaching up. Now just relax the shoulders. Go ahead and close your eyes once again. Softly closed. No tightness, no scrunching through the cheeks and around the eyes. Just softness. Tune in to the sensation in the soles of the feet. Notice how they feel. Warm, cold, tingly, soft. There's no right, there's no wrong. Just notice. Now do the same thing with the hands and fingers. Tingly, warm, cold, normal, not normal, different, tingly. All of these words, perfectly acceptable. We're just creating awareness, tuning the mind into how your body is feeling. Specifically, your hands and feet. And let your hands rest heavily and your feet rest heavily. Linger in your breath. And open your eyes. Let's come to standing. So turn the seat of the chair towards you. Comfortable distance away from the seat of your chair. Feet hip distance apart. We've talked about this before. Fist width between the balls of the big toes is a good guide for hip distance. No more than 2 fist widths apart between the balls of the big toes. Toes pointing directly under the seat of the chair. If you have a habit of pointing your toes out, look down, deliberately adjust your feet so your toes, second toe especially, is pointing directly to under the seat of the chair. Now standing tall. Take a breath in, draw your shoulders up towards your ears and just roll them back. And as you exhale, let your arms, hands slide down, shoulder blades slide down. Fingertips reaching towards the floor. Now standing tall. Take a breath. Tune into the soles of your feet. You want to feel equal balance on the front and back of your feet. So if you feel your weight in your heels, shift forward so you feel the weight more forwards. If you feel your heels are a little bit lighter than the balls of the big toes, shift backwards. Ideally, you're aiming for equal weight on the front and back of your feet. Now keep that. As you inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Cross the wrists overhead. Notice which wrist is in front, and as you exhale, sweep down. Now keep the same wrist in front as you cross right in front of the abdomen. Now inhale. Other wrist goes in front. You might have to think for a moment. Exhale, sweeping down. Keep the same wrist in front. Inhaling. Going back to that first wrist in the front. And then exhaling. Releasing down. Same wrist goes in the front towards the chair. One more time using the other wrist. Just think for a moment. In front. It's a little brain trick that goes on there. And then release. Take a breath in. Sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward. Bring your hands to the seat of the chair. So bending your knees on the way down helps take the strain out of the lower back if you're someone who has a tight lower back or perhaps a lower back injury. Now inhale, lift your eyes, look forward. Let the lower back sway and really relax and open through the rib cage. Lift your eyes, look over the back of the chair. Think of your spine as one C shape. Actually, let's say U shape. a U shape from your tailbone extending to the crown of your head. Now as you exhale, round through the spine, round through the shoulders. Feel your tailbone scoop under, chin tucks towards the chest. So now you're coming into an N shape. Inhale, lift the eyes, look forward, feel the spine curving into the U shape. Relax through the rib cage and belly. Exhale, draw in. Pull the belly button in towards the spine, spread the shoulder blades wide, chin tucks towards your chest. Let's do that for 2 more breaths. Inhale, let go through the belly, through the rib cage. Big old U in the spine. Exhale, rounding through the spine, making the big N shape. Chin tucks towards the chest. Now come to a neutral table position. So eyes looking down at the seat of the chair. Feeling your hips over top of your heels. So that means you feel equal weight in the balls of the toes and the heels of your feet. Now keep that. Put a little bend in your knees. Just a little bend. Shift your weight once again until you feel the weight equally into the front and back of your feet. Left hand on the seat of the chair, right hand on your hip. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lengthen through the right leg, soften the left knee. Kind of let the right hip pop behind you. Keep your eyes on the seat of the chair, the tips of your left fingers. Just feel the stretch into the back of the right leg and your right hip. Breathe through it. Make sure you're not holding your breath, of course. Breath is really important. Never ever hold your breath while you're exercising. Now with your exhalation, bend your right knee, bring your right hand back to the seat of the chair. A little softness in the back of the knees, bow towards the chair. Keep your hands on the seat of the chair and just bend your elbows until you begin to feel a stretch into the lower back. Keep the softness in the back of the knees. The goal here is to stretch the lower back, not stretching the back of the legs. We're working with that one at a time, just to warm up. Use the support of the chair now to press yourself up to the halfway up position. Softness in the back of the knees. Bring your right hand to the center of the seat of the chair, left hand to your hip. Take a breath. As you exhale, left leg lengthens, right knee softens until you feel the stretch into the left leg, left hip. Keep your eyes on the tips of your fingers of your right hand. Resist the urge, resist the temptation to look at your toes. Keep your eyes on the seat of the chair. That will help keep the spine long and the shoulders broad. Breathe. Release the stretch now by softening your left knee, feeling your weight shifting equally onto both feet. Left hand comes back to the seat of the chair. As you exhale, bow towards the seat of the chair, simply bending at your elbows. Keep the softness in the back of your knees, again, until you feel the stretch in the lower back. Keep your eyes on the seat of the chair, not on your toes, keeping the spine long. Press up. Use your hands on the seat of the chair. Come to the full length in your arms. Shift your weight out of your hands into your feet. You can feel your weight in your heels now. That's because your hips have gone past your heels. They're behind you. But you also feel steady enough to let go of the chair. Hands to your knees. Now keep that. Lift your eyes. Look just slightly in front of you. I'm looking towards the back of the seat of the chair, just to help lengthen through the spine. Now with your hands on your knees or your thighs, wherever you feel comfortable, take a moment here to take a breath in. And as you exhale, think of lengthening through the back of the legs. Think of lifting your hips up towards the ceiling and stretching out the back of the knees. Careful to keep a tiny bend there in the back of the knees. We don't want to overextend the knee joint. But just stretch as much as possible through the back of the legs. If you feel like your legs are straight but you're not getting a stretch, go ahead and reach for the chair and deepen your forward fold until you do feel a stretch. But keep the softness in the back of the knees. Breathe through the stretch the whole time, of course. Keep actively lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Now bend the knees a little more deeply so you can feel the weight in the soles of your feet now. Not just in the heels, but in the balls of the toes. You feel really steady on your feet and strong throughout the entire leg. You can feel your leg muscles working. Soles of the feet push into the floor. Release the chair and just sweep up. Take a breath in and just slowly make your way up as you take a long, lingering breath in. And exhale, let the hands sweep down. Here we go. Turn the chair to the other way around, so the back of the chair is towards you. Standing close enough, you've got the chair for stability if you need it. So starting out here, bend the knees. You're going to step your, let's say, left foot back, longer than a walking step. So land on the ball of your left big toe. Now using the chair, pivot, turn to the left. So left toes are pointing to the left, but right toes are still pointing under the seat of the chair. Left hand to your hip. Look down at your right knee. Just soften your right knee, and right knee points in the same direction as your toes. So if you find that your right knee is folding in, it might mean you need to take a little more care to bring your knee out over top of your ankle, knee pointing in the same direction as your toes. Now, you've still got the chair here for balance. Shift your upper body until you feel like your shoulders, especially your left shoulder, is over top of your left hip. So the habit here in this stance is to lean forward into the chair. You want to stay tall, so both sides of the rib cage are equally long. Now look to the left. So you're looking in exact same direction as your left toes are pointing, but at the same time keeping your right knee pointing in the same direction as your right toes. It's a good challenge for your brain to get your body to respond the way your brain wants it to. Now with your left shoulder over top of your left hip. If you feel steady, go ahead and sweep your left arm straight out to the left until it feels like your left wrist is in line with your shoulder. Then when you think you've done it, turn to look. Notice if your wrist is higher than your shoulder and adjust it. Now keep it there. Anchor your left shoulder over top of your hip and bring your gaze back to the left. Create some muscle memory, some awareness in your body so that you know when your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Now, if you feel steady on your feet, go ahead and do the same thing with the right hand. Kind of create this awareness in your peripheral vision so you can know when your right hand, right arm is in line with your wrist, but you don't have to look directly at it. A couple of breaths right here. If you feel unsteady, you can keep your right hand on the chair. That's perfectly fine. If your left shoulder is tired, you can bring your left hand to your hip. Just try to keep your left shoulder in line with your left hip. Try not to lean into the chair. Now as you exhale, everyone brings their hand back to the left hip. Using the chair, pull your left heel off the mat. Now a little challenge for your balance here. Put one finger on the back of the chair, just one finger. If you're not ready for one finger, do 3 fingers. Now twist. So rotate, but think of rotating through your shoulders and rib cage to turn towards the back of the chair and just pivot on the ball of your big toe. When your shoulders are square to the chair, you know when they are. You can see it with your peripheral vision. You don't have to look at the chair. You know. Left hand reaches for the chair and step forward. Now, bend the knees. We're ready to do it with the other side. Right foot steps back. Longer step back than usual. Take a risk here. You've got the chair. Go for it. Left hand on the chair, right hand on your hip. Now pivot. So don't think about pivoting on the ball of the big toe. Think about rotating through the shoulders and rib cage, and your foot will go and land. Land on the heel as soon as your shoulders and rib cage have turned to the right. Right hand stays on your hip. Look down at your left knee. See, now my left knee needs a little more teaching than my right knee. My left knee always wants to pop in, so I have to take a moment, pull it out using the inner thigh so the knee points in the same direction as the toes. Okay, so now I'm going to turn and look to the right so my shoulders feel open to the right. Now anchoring my right shoulder over top of my right hip. So both sides of my rib cage feel equally long. Now the right hip is automatically going to feel like it's higher than the left. Now shifting my awareness, I'm going to sweep my right arm out to the right and kind of notice in my peripheral vision if my wrist is in line with my shoulder. And when you think you've got it, turn to look to see if you made it. Ha-ha, mine is a little forward, so I have to pull it back just a little bit more. And then keeping right shoulder over top of hip, right wrist in line with shoulder, turning to look straight to the right, the same direction as my right toes. Breathe. After a couple of breaths, if you feel steady enough to let go of the chair, do the same thing with the left arm. Noticing in your peripheral vision if your wrist is in line with your shoulder. If you've created this long straight line from right hand to left hand. But at the same time, keeping the right shoulder over top of the right hip, left knee pointing in the same direction as your left toes. Boy, that's a lot to manage. If your shoulders are tired, you can go ahead and bring your hands to your hips, reach for the chair. We're going to take 2 more breaths right here. Now left hand comes to the chair if it's not already. Right hand comes to your hip. Now come 1 finger onto the back of the chair or 3 fingers. So using the chair simply for balance rather than holding on like an anchor. 1 finger on the chair if you can, or 3 fingers. When you're ready, pull your right heel off the mat and rotate through the rib cage and shoulders as you turn towards the chair. Keeping your gaze straight ahead until you feel like the shoulders are once again square to the chair. Then the right hand reaches and step your right foot forward. Inhaling, sweeping the arms out. Exhale, bowing forward, bringing your hands to the chair. Now walking the feet back. Coming into a downward dog position. Balancing on your fingertips here. Try not to hold on to the back of the chair, but simply using the chair for a little bit of support. Lengthen now. Finger the Fingertips reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. Long straight line from your hips to your fingers. Deep stretch in the back of the legs here, a little softness in the back of the knees, but feeling a gentle stretch there as well. Breathe. One more breath. Now slowly pressing up, walking your feet towards the chair while simultaneously coming back to standing and standing to the back of the chair. Let's come back to sitting. Sit all the way back in the seat of the chair. Now inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bow forward. Just reach forward at the same time. Pull your shoulders away from the chair and fold over your thighs. Let your arms swing. Another breath in, sweeping forward and up, lift up. Really engage through the core. And as you exhale, reach out and down. We're going to do that 3 more times. So inhale, sweeping up. Pull the shoulders away from the back of the chair. Fold over your thighs, exhale. Really reach and then swing the arms. Let the breath go completely. Inhale, reaching forward, pulling up, lift up. Use the soles of the feet to press into the floor. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweeping out and up. Shoulders pulling away from the back of the chair. Reach forward as you exhale. Fold into your thighs. Swing your arms. Breath completely releases. Inhale, reach forward. Engage, lift up. Pull, 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 pull. And exhale. One more time. Inhaling, sweeping out, sweeping up. As you exhale, begin to reach forward and release. Release into the thighs, release the breath. Inhale, up. And exhale, out. Hands to your thighs. Just take a breath. Feel yourself let go and sink into the seat of the chair. Now lift yourself tall. Pull your shoulders away from the back of the chair. A breath in, sweeping both arms up. As you exhale, right hand comes to the seat of the chair. Left hand comes to your outer thigh as you just turn to look to the right. Stay tall. Get a sense again that your shoulders are over top of your hips, but there's just a slight rotation as you look to the corner. Stay tall. Think of the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. With your next breath out, release the twist, coming all the way back to center. Inhale, both arms sweeping up. Keep the shoulders away from the back of the chair. As you exhale, left hand comes to the seat of the chair for support. Right hand comes to the outside of your thigh. And just gently rotate through the shoulders and rib cage to look to the corner at the left. Connect to your breath. Wait for your exhalation and release the twist, coming all the way back to center. Hands to your knees. Anchor your hands here. Use your fingertips to kind of just cup your kneecaps. Take a breath, sit really tall. And as you exhale, round through the shoulders, tuck your chin towards your chest. Really try to spread through the back of the shoulders and feel the stretch from the base of the skull down the back of the neck. A breath in, lift yourself tall. Lift your chin now away from your chest. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling in front of you. Exhale, rounding through the shoulders, chin tucks towards the chest. Use your hands to help spread the shoulder blades wide. Inhale, lift yourself tall. Lift your chin up. Think of your chin pointing to the corner in front of you where the wall meets the ceiling as your eyes go up to the ceiling in front of you. And exhale, rounding through the back. Chin tucks towards chest. Backs of the shoulders really broad. And sitting tall once again. Now lean into the back of the chair. Got one more little exercise to go today. Mobility through the neck. A little bit more. Rotation. Think of when you're driving and you need to check your blind spot and look over your shoulder. So here we go. Shoulders, pull back. Feel your shoulder blades connect with the back of the chair. Now keep your awareness there. Keep your awareness with your shoulder blades connected to the back of the chair. Hands heavy on your thighs. No strain through the shoulders, no strain through the jaw, so try to soften there. But I want you to feel really broad through the collarbones and across the fronts of the shoulders. Keep that. Hands resting heavily on your thighs. Take a breath. And as you exhale, turn to look to the right. Pause. Feel your left shoulder pressing against the back of the chair. Keep that. Take another breath. As you exhale, relax your jaw, and now turn your head a little more deeply, bringing your chin more into line with your right shoulder. Keep your left shoulder pinned against the back of the chair. So it's no good to let your left shoulder pull forward as you turn and look to the right. You're not increasing any kind of range of motion there or flexibility. Keep the tension out of the jaw. The more softness you can have through the shoulders, through the jaw, through the back of the neck, the bigger the range of motion will be. You will improve the flexibility and the movement in the cervical spine, the neck. Remember not to clench the jaw. It is really tempting here. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, just slowly bring your head all the way back. Oh, I just heard a crack. Oh, take a breath and just relax. Even though you thought you were soft and gentle and no tension at all, it still creeps in. That's why we practice awareness. All right, so here we go. Shoulders pull back into the seat of the chair. Really open through the collarbones and the fronts of the shoulders. Hands resting heavily on your thighs. Soft jaw, soft throat. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, just gently turn to the left. Just looking to the left. Not worried about going any deeper now. Just see where you end up. Check for tension. Jaw, shoulders. Did your fingers begin to clench? Just relax. We're just turning to look. That's all. Take another breath. As you exhale, anchor your right shoulder against the back of the chair and just gently turn. Just a millimeter more is all it needs to be. Jaw soft, shoulders soft, hands resting heavily on your thighs. Breathe. Now take a breath in, and as you exhale, just slowly bring your eyes back to center, chin back over top of the sternum, over top of your heart. Take a breath. As you exhale, shoulder blades pull into the back of the chair, and slowly let your chin fall forward, head falls forward. So you're not worried about getting your chin to your chest here. Just let your head feel heavy. Relax your jaw. Rest your hands on your thighs. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out through the mouth, really sink into the support of the chair. Feel the support at the back of your thighs, beneath your hips, behind your rib cage and shoulders. Feel the weight of your hands resting on your thighs and the weight of your feet resting on the floor. Just settle into the heaviness there. Let go of all control of your breath. Think only of sitting and being you. No responsibilities right now. No judgments. Just you, your body, and your breath. Just let all of that go. Take 2 more breaths right here. Now let your hands slide off your thighs and your arms dangle at your sides. Bring some movement to your fingers, your toes. And just lift your head just slightly until you feel like your ears are in line with your shoulders. You feel a little taller. Eyes still closed. Now inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Bring your hands together overhead. Hands floating down with your exhalation, palm pressing to palm. Pausing with hands right in front of heart center. Take a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. And may all beings be at peace. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.